That's the music you're going to hear for the next 30 hours. Billy Martell is already backstage dancing along. So we're going to have a dance competition up until for all of these videos who has the best interpretive dance of that. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Raise the Region 2024. I'm incredibly excited that we're already seeing those donations come in. Our first cast reunion of the season of the year this year is my wife is opening the closet door very, very slowly and quietly next door. So this is our first Raise the Region with an infant, so that'll be fun. Who's hoping for a diaper change out there? No one, including me. Our first reunion is with A Few Good Men. So let's get those men on screen. Here we go. We got Billy Martell joining us. Hi, Billy.
Hi.
And we got Jason Kreiner.
Good evening, everyone.
Jason, we've already made the joke that you're in costume, so thank you for coming prepared.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Always a serious man. Tim, hi. Hi, Tim. Hit the seal. And then the ever-lovable Keith Wagner.
Hello.
Keith, thank you for joining us live from the nursing home.
You're welcome. Listen, my dogs are barking now.
Your dogs are barking. My child's about to try to eat. It's all going to be great. It's Raise the Region, everyone. How are we feeling?
Doing all right.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a tech week. Everyone knows how I'm feeling.
Everyone out there, go see Jason Kreiner and a whole bunch of CTL regulars in August Osage County this weekend. Make sure you check them out. It's going to be a fantastic show.
Yes, it is.
Wish you the best of luck and break all the legs and
Thank you.
have a ball. A Few Good Men. That came and went, and that happened. Let's talk a little bit. What this is a jump ball question. Why'd we audition? Why'd we go out for this particular title? I know I get live commentary on how my interviewing skills are going, and not
He
so
doesn't
great.
care why we did that.
Yeah.
He's like, move on.
Jason, you want to speak? Go.
Sure. 2 reasons. Number one, I spent some time in the Marine Corps, so it was kind of a natural interest for me. And that and this show, that play, was kind of a bucket list show goal for me. And how lucky am I to have not only been able to do it, but to do it with the talented people that I got to do it with.
Absolutely. I think we were incredibly lucky with the caliber of talent backstage, and that came out for all of the roles. It's always, bucket list roles. That's a lot to live up to. Was that scary during the process at all, or did you just enjoy it from the beginning to the end?
I prepared a lot, but certainly when you're taking on something everybody knows this show through the movie or having seen it on Broadway, and everybody knows my character in particular, yeah, there was a little bit of pressure there. So I prepared and I worked, and I hope it was done justice.
Well, I think everyone would agree that it was done with justice, and I think you probably got tired of a little bit of getting the "you can't handle the truth" jokes.
The biggest challenge was trying to keep my voice after yelling at everybody all those hours.
Do you and Billy have a good relationship now backstage, or it was just so tumultuous on stage that you just couldn't separate Kathy from Billy? And
100%. I've worked with Billy before, and it's very easy to play off great actors.
Oh, well, same to you. No, yeah, we don't go in for the method acting around here. So we're very nice to each other backstage and tried to not let that bleed over. I auditioned for the show, really having never read it or seen it. I didn't know anything about it except for the scene. The scene that is so famous that every time we performed the play, when the line "you can't handle the truth" was said, someone in the audience audibly in a full speaking voice, not whispering, said, "That's it."
True.
But I knew that, but I didn't know anything else really about it. I hadn't even really experienced much Aaron Sorkin, but I knew that it was a very serious, dramatic piece. And I tend to do, specifically with A Few Good Men in it. And I was excited to try, because I tend to do a lot of comedies at PTL, and I was excited to try and do something a little bit darker and a little bit more serious, and it was a great experience.
It absolutely felt like it was the first. It was one of the first moments in a dramatic piece. That scene, especially that chunk of that scene, almost felt like it was its own dance, and like you both nailed that choreography perfectly because it had to hit right.
Yeah.
You felt a release of everyone waiting for this scene, and you felt everyone in the scene leaning in the entire 5 minutes it was happening, and then boom, and then it was like a release of there it is. All right, got
There
no
it
money's
is.
worth. We're good to go. So I mean, listen, you give the people what they want. If they want
Absolutely.
Jason Craner screaming, "You can't handle the truth," that's what we'll do.
Absolutely.
Keith, why did you audition?
Well, because I felt somewhat responsible because I chair the production committee, and it calls for a lot of men. And so I didn't want to. I hadn't been in a show prior to that in like over 5 years. So, but I felt an obligation to come out and do whatever I could do. So I didn't really have any. I mean, I didn't think I was a typical few good men type person. I don't look like I'm in the military. I'm certainly older than the rest of the cast. So I was just looking to make sure we had enough men, and that was really what got me there. And then once I got there, I had fun.
There you
So
go.
that's always important. Yeah.
It seemed like the whole rehearsal process was fun for a drama. I don't think the men ever really like
It was
really
the
got into the
easiest
method.
cast in terms of everybody just like did their thing. Like they came in ready, they hit their marks, they said their lines, and then they went home. There was no offstage drama. There was none of that.
Great.
So that made it really very enjoyable from a backstage perspective, to be part of that. Like we had our own pickup rehearsal. Like nobody, it was just us. We just went in and did it and went home. So that kind of thing was really nice and rare. Like a lot of times that doesn't happen. Not saying that maybe women bring some drama to it, but there weren't many. You know, I don't know.
Why do we have to go there?
Just picking out the obvious thing that was different.
Sure.
Listen, Tim, Jack Ross.
Yeah.
Why'd you audition there?
Well, for me, I was kind of in the same boat as Billy, where I had seen the movie, but I didn't really remember much of it, and I have never read the script until we got it. I kind of just went because I do a lot of musicals. It tends to be what I go for, and then getting to do Cat on a Hot Tin Roof last season really kind of gave me the itch to do some more plays and try and do some more like dramatic kind of acting. So, you know, I knew that this was a great show, just off of reputation, and I've worked with Phil before as a director, and I really like working under him. So as soon as I saw that was on the schedule, I knew I was going to go for it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, and I think it's really interesting. I think some people, the reason people come out for shows, I mean, just in this cast alone, you had a dream role. You had two, like Billy and Tim. It's so strange to me that you didn't really watch this movie, but that's just having grown up with a father in law enforcement. This is kind of like every time you turned on the TV, it's like a remote drop. Like if you're like scrolling and it was on, you just like that was it, and you watched the rest of the movie no matter where it was at. So, and then Keith just felt kind of the duty to come out and help make sure
responsibility.
That's the word I was grasping for. What's something that you might have going through the process of A Few Good Men, written by Aaron Sorkin? It's really wordy. We can talk about that for hours and hours and hours. But I think a more important conversation for everyone out there kind of maybe watching is what did you maybe learn from the experience? What did you take away? something new, especially because all four of you are experienced actors. So this is kind of a unique conversation that you all have done decades work at CTL almost alone. So what did you pick up new? What did you learn? What might you not never do again? Whether it being about being lines, whether it being about never showing up that early for a call, no roles with fight, whatever. Jump ball.
No, go for it, Jason.
Okay. Every time I'm fortunate enough to do a show, one of the first takeaways is you look at the mix of people. And I've had the pleasure of working with Tim and Billy and Brad and Andrew before. But you look at Keith, who's been a mainstay up there for decades, and I never had the chance to work with him.
Decades.
And Denise Clark and Kaylee, who's done so many things up there. I never had the chance to work with her. So it's a pleasure to do these shows, but it's also such a privilege to learn from these other great actors and actresses. So that's number one. The play is remarkably similar to the movie, and I am one of the people that, like you and your dad, you just can't surf by that movie, especially that scene. So I knew it pretty well, but all these experiences are different, and they're not all created equal. This one was great start to finish, from the production crew, the leadership, to the cast. I mean, it was drama free, and a pleasure from start to finish. And like you guys mentioned earlier, we just went in and we did our thing, and it rolled. It was problem free.
That's awesome.
I came out of the show realizing that you shouldn't ever have a midnight snack of Oreos and Smart Food popcorn the night before Tech Week starts, because then you end up in the hospital for the first half of Tech Week, and then you have to you end up getting really behind on like where you need to be in the Tech Week process, and adds a whole lot of stress to the whole process that nobody needed. So that was the lesson that I took away from this process, mostly.
I had the pleasure of reading your lines for one scene, and I was like, nope, we're good.
There were a lot of lines.
We're good. Billy needs a week. Let's push the show back a week. What do we need to do? What surgeon needs hired? Who do we have to have on standby? No. So, Billy, that was a fun story for you to just tuck in, like, the old resume.
That is the best thing about like bad things happening, is that they're fun stories later. At the time, they're not good. Now it's fun because it's a story, but at the time it was like
literally.
Yeah, literally. I think that was the noise I made.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that I mean, it's terrible that happened to you, but for the rest of us, we didn't, like, there was no panic. There was like, okay, well, he'll sort it out, and we're just going to keep going. And if he needs our help, we'll help him. But we're just going to keep going. Like, and I've been in other things where, like, people panic and they're like, oh no, we can't do it. And part of that I credit Phil, because he just kind of underplayed it. Like, Billy can't be here right now, so we're just going to go, and it's going to be fine. And we're all like, oh, okay, I guess we shouldn't worry. We'll just go on. So that actually was kind of nice, and hopefully nice for you, because I don't think anybody was like looking at you like, get in here. And
no, everyone
was
very
we were
nice,
like, take your time, do whatever you need to do, and we got you.
Everyone was very understanding, and absolutely. I was as much as I'm complaining about it for the sake of comedy now, like it was a remarkably easy. It was much easier than I thought it was going to be. When that happened at the beginning of the week, I was like, well, I'm done. Like I don't know how to go on from this. And then we simply moved on, and that was wonderful.
Yeah. I honestly, I can't commend Billy enough for what he did during that week. I mean, audiences never would have known, with the performances that he put on, and the discomfort that he was pushing through. And he really didn't miss a beat. And like, there's not much time in that show that Billy is not on stage speaking.
Yeah.
So I was and like Keith said, like there was never a moment that I doubted it. I was just like, oh, it's Billy. He'll get this. Like he's that good.
He'll pull through.
You're all
Yeah.
being far
We
too
all
nice
have
to me.
faith in you, Billy.
I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's any matter, I mean, I think it was a very simple, like text of, "Hey, Billy's in the hospital. He might be back Tuesday." And I like look at my phone. I'm like, that's the lead.
Yeah,
It was like a very just casual. Billy won't be there tonight. He might be there tomorrow. Tuesday, though,
Yeah.
definitely.
I think I read it on your Facebook. I like was scrolling during my lunch break, and Billy was like, "Oh, I'm in the hospital." I'm like, "Oh."
The best part is
Surprising to me too.
I don't know if Billy knows this, but he was in the hospital and like semi-conscious messaging me because you were messaging me about something completely else. I don't even remember what it was, Billy, but you had sent me like an email or a message or something, and I was like, "Wait, timeline-wise, I think you're in the hospital right now." Oh well, okay.
I fully do not remember doing that. So
Yeah.
I hope whatever I sent was appropriate and professional.
Perfectly. It was well worded. It was beautifully written too. So I
Oh,
don't know
great.
if it was
All right.
the meds or what. Anything else to wrap up A Few Good Men? What are we excited about for next season? Keith, you can't answer because you know all of next season. Tim, you also know some of next season as a performer tomorrow. But Billy, Jason,
You guys will put on a great slate. I hope there's a drama that has room for an old guy. And I hope the dates work, and I will throw my hat in the ring, and that's my hope every year. For the multi-talented among you, you'll have more choices. But I don't sing, so I'm hoping you got a couple of good plays mixed in there.
I think so. I hope so. Keith,
Good.
Keith is very silent.
Not saying anything.
Wait,
Come on, Keith.
Keith,
We do.
play poker with Keith. Look at that. Maybe
Okay.
don't play poker with Keith. Look at that.
He said we do. There it is.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
A few good
you.
men. Thank you. If you haven't yet, donate raisetheregion.org/organization/ctlshows.com. We're just under $1,000 already, which is hold on, I'll refresh. So that's amazing. Only 7 donors out there, so thank you. You have 29 hours. We're 1 hour in, and we'll see everyone tomorrow as we announce the season at 7:30 at CTL Liberation, and then stick around our social media sites after that until midnight while we continue to go live with performances right from the main stage. If I can stay awake, that'll be the test. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Can't
man.
handle the
He
truth.
is your friend.
Can't handle the
Get some
truth.
yoo-hoo.
Get some yoo-hoo, and you can't handle the truth. There we go. We're off.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Thank you. All right, bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.